Let's be brutally honest. Most people today are not lazy because they lack ambition. They're lazy because the world has made it easy to be lazy. We live in an age of instant gratification, food delivered to your door, entertainment at your fingertips, comfort everywhere you look. And yet, despite all this convenience, most of us feel more tired, more unmotivated, and more stuck than ever before. You know the feeling. You set your alarm early, but hit snooze. You make a to-do list, but never finish it. You promise yourself you'll start tomorrow, but tomorrow never comes. And every time you break a promise to yourself, you lose a little bit of trust, a little bit of self-respect, a little bit of hope. But what if I told you that the cure for laziness isn't more motivation, more willpower, or another productivity hack? What if the answer is a 400-year-old secret passed down by warriors who lived and died by their discipline? Secret that helped them rise from nothing, survive chaos, and build unbreakable habits, no matter how hard life got. This isn't a story about superhumans. It's about ordinary people who learned how to master themselves in a world that wanted them to stay weak. Before we dive in, I want you to pause and ask yourself, where in your life are you letting laziness win? Is it your health, your work, your relationships? Hold that thought. Because over the next few minutes, you're going to discover a method that does indeed just help you try harder. It helps you transform. If you're ready to stop being lazy and start living with purpose, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and comment below. What's the one habit you wish you could finally master? Your answer might be the first step toward your own transformation. Let's begin. Section 2, the turning point, the myth of motivation. Most people think laziness is a character flaw. They believe that if they just had more motivation, more energy, or more time, they'd finally get things done. But here's the truth. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. If you wait to feel like it, you'll wait forever. The 400-year-old secret comes from the samurai of Japan warriors who couldn't afford to be lazy. For them, discipline wasn't about feeling inspired. It was about building systems, rituals, and a mindset that made action automatic. The secret, Kaizen, and the power of micro-habits. The word is Kaizen, philosophy of continuous incremental improvement. It's not about making huge changes overnight. It's about making tiny, almost invisible improvements every single day. The samurai didn't become masters by training for hours once in a while. They became masters by showing up day after day, rain or shine, perfect or imperfect. Step 1. Start ridiculously small. If you want to stop being lazy, stop trying to change everything at once. Pick one habit. Make it so small you can't fail. Want to get fit? Start with one push-up a day. Want to read more? Read one page. Want to wake up early? Set your alarm 5 minutes earlier. The key is to make the habit so easy that your brain can't resist. Success builds momentum. Momentum builds identity. Step 2. Attach your habit to a trigger. Samurai built their lives around rituals. They didn't rely on willpower. They relied on cues. Attach your new habit to something you already do. After you brush your teeth, do your push-up. After you pour your morning coffee, read your page. Habits are easier to build when they're linked to existing routines. Step 3. Track your streak. The samurai kept records of their training. You should too. Use a calendar, an app, or a notebook. Every day you complete your habit, mark it down. Don't break the chain. Tracking gives you visual proof of your progress. It turns your habit into a game you don't want to lose. Contrast framing, the old way versus the samurai way. Most people try to force themselves into action with guilt, shame, or hype. The samurai way is different. It's about making discipline inevitable, not optional. Step 4. Celebrate progress, not perfection. The samurai didn't expect perfection. They expected progress. Every small win was a victory. Every failure was a lesson. When you slip up, don't quit. Reflect, adjust, and keep going. Progress is the goal, not perfection. Transition from struggle to flow. You might be thinking, but I've failed so many times. I'm just not a disciplined person. That's the old story. The new story starts with one small step. Let's see how this works in real life. Section 3. The transformation. Let me tell you a story not about a samurai, but about someone like you. Let's call him Carlos. Carlos was 32, always starting new habits, always quitting. He wanted to get fit, write a book, wake up early, but every attempt ended in disappointment. He blamed himself, called himself lazy, and felt stuck in a rut. One day he read about Kaizen and the samurai. He decided to try something different. Day 1, Carlos picked one habit, walking for 5 minutes every morning. He set his shoes by the door the night before. He set a reminder on his phone. Day 3, he missed a day. Instead of quitting, he asked, "What triggered this?" He realized he'd stayed up late watching TV. He forgave himself, went to bed earlier, and walked the next day. Day 7, he started to feel proud, not because he was perfect, but because he was consistent. He tracked his streak, celebrated every walk, and noticed his energy improving. Day 14, he added a new habit, writing 1 paragraph each morning after his walk. He used the momentum from his first habit to fuel the next. Day 21, he faced a setback. He got sick and missed 2 days. But instead of giving up, he remembered the samurai. Discipline is about showing up even when it's hard. Day 30. Carlos wasn't a new person, but he was building a new identity. He was no longer lazy. He was someone who kept his promises, one small step at a time. Setback and recovery. Of course, Carlos still had setbacks. He still missed days, still felt lazy sometimes. But now, instead of giving up, he used each failure as a lesson. Every stumble was a chance to grow stronger. Identity shift. After 30 days, Carlos didn't just have new habits. He had a new story about himself. He was resilient, adaptable, and growing just like the samurai. Section 4. The legacy. Sustaining your discipline. Kaizen isn't a one-time fix. It's a lifelong practice. The samurai didn't graduate from discipline. They lived it, day in and day out, through seasons of motivation and seasons of struggle. To sustain your discipline, keep it small. When you feel overwhelmed, shrink your habit until it's easy again. Stay connected. Share your journey with others. Accountability builds momentum. Embrace imperfection. Some days you'll slip. That's normal. The key is to return, not to quit. Reflect regularly. Ask yourself what worked, what didn't. How can I improve? Write it down. Notice the patterns, building a community of action. You're not alone on this journey. There are millions of people all over the world struggling with laziness, just like you. When you share your progress, you inspire others to start. When you support others, you strengthen your own resolve. Imagine a world where more people wake up with a reason to act, to grow, to serve. That's the legacy of Kaizen and the samurai. Final reflection and call to action. So why are you still being lazy? Because you've been taught to chase motivation instead of building systems. Because you've been told to wait for the right moment instead of starting small. But now you know the 400-year-old secret. Discipline isn't about willpower. It's about making action automatic. For the next 30 days, try living with Kaizen. Start ridiculously small. Attach your habit to a trigger. Track your streak. Celebrate every win. If this video gave you a new perspective, subscribe and join our community of people who refuse to settle for less. Comment below. What's the one micro habit you'll start today? Your story might inspire someone else to begin. Thank you for watching. Remember, you're not lazy. You're just one small step away from a new identity.